Welcome, guys and gals, to the Creative Hangout, episode number 2. Yeah.
Number 2, that's poop.
Hopefully you tuned in again after the fiasco of the first episode for the fiasco of the second episode.
Yeah, he got real salty when I mentioned how much my shirts cost. I had to. They couldn't see you. They couldn't see your face. You were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "What? Oh my god." Relax.
That was the business part of me going, "Motherfucker!
What are you doing? Don't tell people how much shit costs. How could you?
How could you?"
Oh my god.
So can you hear me properly? We all good to go?
I think we're okay. I think I'm only
Should
seeing.
I get closer?
No. I think that distance is pretty well perfect. I'm seeing like. See, I think I need to be a little bit closer. I'm seeing only slight clipping on your talk, so I think we're good. I think we got it.
All right. So again, welcome to the show. Hopefully this episode will be a little bit different. We're, again, making this up as we go. For those of you tuning in for the very first time, my name is Josh, also known as JB Designs, and I have my brother from another mother.
Wow. Bringing it right in, huh?
Right in.
I'm Will from Will Development. That's about all there is to it. I'm much less fun.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Creative Hangout. We're also on Twitter and Instagram as soon as I can get those working properly.
All the social medias, we're going to be on SoundCloud right now and iTunes whenever I decide to figure it out. I may have already by the time this comes out.
Yeah, who knows? This is this will be coming out next week. So
yeah. We are time traveling right now. this is ooh. We're ghosts of former husks of men of ourselves. Shells of husks of former men of selves.
So, like we said before, in the last episode, some of our topics may be a little late because we record twice a month and record 2 episodes on the nights that we record.
Yeah.
So this is the episode that is going out a bit later.
Right.
So you know how I teased last episode. I wanted to tell a story.
Yeah.
So
always teasing me.
always teasing. How many times have you been past a car that is engulfed in flames?
Once.
Once?
Yeah.
I have lived in Florida for I think pushing on 7 years this summer. I have ran into more cars or driven very close to more cars that have caught on fire than the entire 21 years of living in Ohio.
It's that Florida heat, man.
I guess it's just
Florida heat.
So I'm leaving work today.
Yeah.
And I take this little back way because it goes faster, less lights and everything.
Of course, yeah.
And I get to the one light, and while I'm sitting at the one light, you can see, you see down the road, there's this huge flame, not flames, smoke.
Plume of smoke, yeah.
Black as night, man.
That's
I'm
racist.
like, what the hell is... what the hell is on fire?
Right.
And it's bad. I mean, you see little fires here.
There's a lot of chemicals in cars, man. A lot of people don't realize there's a lot of chemicals in cars.
It is. I mean, it is dark stuff.
It ain't nothing to fuck with. You think burning a tire is bad? Try lighting an engine on fire.
And it's always the engine first.
Oh, yeah.
And,
which is lucky because, boy, you don't want that gas tank to go, I tell you what.
And so I'm going up, and I'm driving, and of course, I have a school bus in front of me.
Right.
And then we're all slowing down because by the time we got to it, there was so much smoke billowing out. It was actually blocking some of your view.
Oh yeah.
Well, right when you get to where the smoke is, I look to the right. It was a fucking school bus.
Oh shit. Oh, that's not good.
Hopefully the kids were on it. I didn't stop.
Diesel burns slow. That's gonna be.
And it was
it's probably still burning right now.
Probably.
It's probably still burning
it
right
was.
now.
The cops were coming down when I passed it.
Fucking pigs.
But then I almost got in a wreck because the bus in front of me must have freaked out because they knew the
Thank you
other
for your
bus.
service, officers.
And so the bus starts stopping, and I'm seeing what's on fire. I look, the bus is, but that has got to be the 5th to 6th car I've seen on fire in 7 years.
And they're escalating apparently. The first one he saw was a moped. Now it's a school bus. So
the other time
shit's getting up.
It was at my old job, and I was getting onto I-4, which for those that do not live in the Orlando area,
No, people all over the fucking world know what I-4 is because of Death Man's Curve, okay, man?
not my Ohio people.
Tell them to watch the news.
Watch the news. But no, I-4 is the big stretch of highway that can take you from Daytona all the way to Tampa and farther than that, right?
It pretty much spans east to west and
Like
even
across Florida.
north and south. It's kind of like a seatbelt across the entire state.
Yeah, yeah. So I was on 436 to going, and I'm about to go over the bridge, and I see another thing of smoke. And this is a few years back.
Yeah.
And I think this may have been one of the first times I've seen a car on fire.
Wow.
And so I'm going up, and there's that light that's right in front of, or right before you can turn on to I-4.
Right.
Going towards downtown.
Yeah.
So I'm going up, and I see the smoke. I'm like, oh, crap, what's going on? I get closer, getting through the traffic.
Yeah.
There's a car on fire. And it's not just a little on fire.
Oh, no, it's on fire.
The whole front of the car is engulfed in flames. And, of course, the fucking light turns red, and I am sitting next to the car.
Oh, no.
And this is, again, 4 or 5 years ago, so I'm used to movies.
Right.
Where if a car's on fire, it's going to explode.
He's like a sniper just tried to take this guy out and missed. I'm fucked.
So I'm sitting in my work vehicle, and I call my mom just to go, because it's that that light takes forever.
Oh, yeah.
And especially if you want to go somewhere or get away from a car that's on fucking fire,
Right.
it's going to take a while.
Hey, Ma.
And I'm like, I got a question for you. She goes, yeah. I'm like, you know how cars blow up in the movies when they're on fire? She goes, yeah. I'm like, does that actually happen? She goes, why? I'm like, because I'm watching a car I just watched it creep. And I'm like, and you see the tire popped.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to die. And then my other problem was, if I didn't die, I was going to have to pay to get the car fixed because it was my work car.
That's his work. Now you're thinking like a logistics-wise. You're like, I'm so fucked. My boss is going to be...
Hopefully I die because then I don't have to worry about paying for it.
Oh, what the fuck is my copay going to be now? Holy shit.
So yeah, that...
Oh, I got a story. I got a car on fire story, actually.
Car on fire?
Yeah, man. I got a car on fire for that. Yeah, man. I got that. I was driving to Deltona, which is another area in Florida you may not be familiar with if you're not from Florida. But anyway, it was on I-4 once again, and I was actually on I-4.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, in front of me, it must have been 3 cars ahead, and I got another good story, too, after this one. But
You got a lot of stories.
This is a car fire story. And mainly...
Keep it topical.
It'll keep it topical and really explain how much of an asshole I can really be. I grew up in the South, but I was raised by 2 Northerners out in, like, the backwoods of Florida. One of the backwoods of Florida. There's a lot of them. So I have that kind of like Southern mentality and the idea that if you need the shirt off my back and I can give it to you, I will. But don't try to take it because then I'll shoot you.
Right.
Which is why I don't own guns anymore. So anyway, I was just driving and it was like there was a van in front of me, and then in front of the van something was going on. And all of a sudden, light smoke starts coming out. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And the van kind of goes off to the left. And I was like, all right, whatever. And there's like this it was, I believe it was a Maxima, a Nissan, smaller sedan. And there's just, all of a sudden I just see like from his brakes, the front tires, just sparks coming out. And then just fire and flames started coming out. And I was like,
Twisted metal.
I was like, this is the most metal thing I've ever seen. Holy shit. But then...
Clown head pops up the top.
Right? I'm just like, holy fuck, this is twisted metal, man. This shit's about to be on. Unfortunately, this is real life where things aren't that fun. And so the guy fucking pulls over. He ends up pulling over. And I was like right next to, right behind him when he started to pull over. And I was like, damn it, there's nothing I can do, but I'm going to pull over anyway because that's a good thing to do, and I don't have to work out tonight, so I've got a few minutes. So I pulled over, and another dude that was behind me actually pulled over as well, and the guy is, like, still in his car, and the fucking front end is just, like, starting to get engulfed, and I'm like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? Get the fuck out of your car, man. And I hear him, like, fiddling with shit in the car, and I'm like, get the fuck out, what are you doing? So he gets out of his car, and I swear to God...
Get my CD collection, man.
Dude, I swear to God, he was standing like 2 feet away from this fire just coming out of his engine, and he's just looking in awe. And I'm just like, fuck, bro. And he's like, what happened? I was raised by a mechanic. Okay, my father was a mechanic. I wasn't raised by anybody, but my father was a mechanic, and So I have a lot of experience in mechanics, you know, whether it was watching and even working in the shop when I was younger and stuff like that. And he's like, what could have caused it? I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know. Okay, shit happens, dude. I don't know what you want.
Things just start on fire, man.
Bro, like spontaneous combustion. Like you'd have to ask that dude in the wheelchair. You know, he talks like this. Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking could tell you more about like random bullshit than I ever could. You know what I mean? Shit happens, bro. So he says, man, he's like, oh my God, this is my daughter's car.
Oh.
She just let me drive it too because she didn't want anybody driving her car, and now this happens.
She didn't take care of her car,
And
then.
I looked at him, and I couldn't help myself because I'm an asshole. And I looked at him, and I said, I bet you she won't let you drive the new one either. And the fucking guy next to me, who was just the random other pedestrian, the random other driver, just looks over at me. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? And I'm just like, I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Alright.
So, but I kind of redeemed myself because afterward I was like, hey, man, look, your daughter can buy a new car. She can't buy a new dad. And then that music, like from the Hallmark Channel started. And he was, you know, still fucked. But there was more badass. Some fucking trucker from the opposite he was going west.
Right.
He actually pulled over. We didn't even see him. He came out of it was like a fucking movie. And he like fucking jumps over the medium, runs across like 3 lanes of traffic.
On I-4, which is suicide.
It's a fucking, at 5:30 or at 5 o'clock, which is fucking like.
Well, the cars aren't moving, so you're out.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine, yeah. So he just fucking runs across traffic, fucking jumps in with a fire extinguisher. He was like 2 seconds too late because he just put out a little bit, and it was kind of like in the movies where like, it's out. And it all just fucking exploded.
And then it comes back with a vengeance.
Which is what happened. And I pulled the guy back. He was so in shock he couldn't even move. And I was just like, look, man, there's nothing more I can do here for you. I'm going to just keep going the way I was going.
I'll catch you later.
Good luck with this. And one more real quick. I was driving back from Ormond Beach on I-4, it's like the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
And this was
near Daytona.
Yeah, it was near Daytona. And I was actually on the clock. My job had sent me there to drop off some materials for the company that we work with to work on and whatever. And I'm on the way back to the shop, and this it was like 5 cars ahead of me, and I just see smoke coming up again. And this one wasn't fire. This one was just funny, and I actually have some of it on film still too. And everybody goes from the left lane and cuts over to the right. I swear to God, it was like 7 cars in unison just cut over. And all I see is this little, like one of the VWs that kind of looks like a hatchback, you know,
right.
like a GTI or a Golf or whatever. And this person in this vehicle, and I hated to be sexist. I was like, what is this bitch doing? And when I said bitch this time, I actually meant a woman. And they're coming up on the side of the barricade. There's a lot of construction still going on that part of I-4, one of the many parts of construction on I-4, and she's driving up on the concrete barrier, and she's coming up and coming down, coming up and coming down. I'm like, man, it's like 12:30. She got to be drunk, high, something. This isn't right, you know. And so she comes up real high one time. She looked like fucking. She was like, it was like from Twins. She was on 2 wheels just driving, and I was like, holy shit. And so she lands, and the tire blows, the front driver's side tire, and she slams over to the right. And that's not funny. That's just scary, right? The funny part was I was like, oh, man. So I pulled out my phone while I was driving, and I switched it over to the camera, and I start recording before I'm driving by because I'm like, I want to know what happened. And I see her before my camera does, and I see her, and she's doing this look like, oh my God, how could this happen? Like, oh no, how could this happen? I'm like, what the fuck? How can you even have that reaction? Like, your normal reaction should be like, holy shit, I made it. She was like, oh my God, how could this happen? Like, I could fucking read her mouth saying that. And I'm like, God damn it, Florida. Worst fucking drivers in this state, man. I've only driven in like 3 states.
Well, and I've always had I always have the saying that no matter what state you're in, none of the people that live there can drive in the normal weather of that state.
I swear to God.
Ohioans cannot drive in snow. Floridians cannot drive in rain.
Oh my God, dude.
I don't know what other states do other things, but yeah. I guess I would go Californians cannot drive in sunshine.
They can't drive in earthquakes, I guess. I don't know what else California's famous for. Okay, you know, Kentucky can't drive with their sisters. I don't know. Don't drink the water in Kentucky, by the way. I've met a few people from Kentucky, like 3, and there's got to be something in the water because every single one I've ever met, there's something wrong with them. So if you ever go, you went to Kentucky.
I
right?
went to Kentucky.
Yeah, you didn't drink the water, right? I told you not.
No,
to
I
drink
don't
the
drink water.
Yeah, you're right. He's like, if it doesn't come with syrup in it, I don't want it.
Exactly. Kentucky, it was interesting. I went for Lexington. What was it called? Lexington Comic and Toy Con, I think, or the other way around. That was an interesting show.
Yeah, you told me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that. That
Yeah,
might be
go for it.
interesting.
Hit it, man.
So
talk about some con experience outside of Florida.
yeah,
See, we're lucky enough to live in Florida, so we can go to MegaCon whenever the fuck it shows up.
we have at least 100 different cons just this year in 2016.
And that's for comic book shit. I mean, let's not even get into like video games and shit.
right.
You know, PAX East. Well, actually, PAX East is in New York, isn't it?
I think
I
so.
don't know.
I don't know.
I may have just lied.
But yeah.
Correct me.
So I've, for those that do not know, I'm an artist. I do acrylic paintings and I turn them into prints, and I go around to all the comic book conventions in and around Florida, mostly in the Orlando area. And just recently, what was it, February I went? No, March.
March, because it was last month.
Yeah, last month, March. My wife and I drove up to
My wife.
Lexington, Kentucky for a convention there. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Not worth the 25 hours of driving. 12 and a half hours there, 12 and a half hours back.
Rarely anything is.
But it was one of those ones. It was my first out-of-state con, like big out-of-state con. I really wanted to give it a try. I did one in Georgia in December, and that was nah.
See, I got a rule on driving. I refuse to drive anywhere. However long it takes me to drive somewhere, I have to stay in that location for at least that amount of time that I drove. So if it takes me 5 hours to get somewhere, I need to be able to stay there for at least 5 hours.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
No, I was there for 3 days.
See, but you didn't stay just there, and you didn't drive straight through. You got.
Oh, I can't drive straight through,
Yeah,
man. We would have
yeah.
wrecked. Especially once you get into getting close into Kentucky and everything.
Yeah.
You go around mountains.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they couldn't cut through them for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking lazy asshole.
But,
couldn't cut through mountains 75 years ago.
fuckers. A little longer than that, I think.
Yeah. Hey, 75 years ago, I assume some sort of infrastructure bills went into succession or something.
we are so educated.
No.
But yeah, it was a good time. I got to meet Mick Foley,
Which is
WWE legend, which was awesome. I got the Cactus Jack shirt signed by him.
Which is a great segue for a minute from now.
Yes.
Keep going.
I should have saved that for last. Damn it, we gotta learn.
Just say it again. You'll just say it again. Say it again.
got-
We'll pretend it didn't happen.
We
So
gotta
what
learn
happened in
segues.
what happened in Lexington?
So I also got to meet Jason David Frank, the
You mean-
original Green Ranger.
You got to meet Jason Frank, and then something else you'll talk about in a minute.
Are you gonna? We're gonna cut that out, but not cut that out.
I'm not even. I'm just. That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
But it happened.
I like it. The cool part with meeting Jason David Frank was I got my poster sign that's in the Creative Hangout Studios / JVD Design Studios. So I only have one more Ranger to get to have that complete.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
He does a lot of work with that YouTube channel, Bat in the Sun, right?
Yeah.
Those guys are kick ass, by the way. It's Superpower Beatdown.
Yeah, definitely look
We're
into
not
it.
related to them, but just fucking check them out because they're awesome.
Oh yeah. But I got the big one signed by him, and I gave him a small one, and he's like, "You
awesome.
you did this?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Dude, this is awesome," and he took a picture with me and everything.
Oh yeah.
So it
I
was
saw
very
those
cool.
pictures.
Yeah, so that was awesome. A very nicely ran con, plenty of room. The people were interesting. It was one of those ones. Yeah, you always get these ones, and I'll talk about this a lot after every show. There's every convention's different. Every group of people that show up are different. There's conventions that show up for just celebrities. There's people that show up for just artwork. There's people that show up. Well, there's not a lot of just artwork.
I remember I
people.
had a couple of friends of mine went to MegaCon last year just to meet Daryl.
Yeah.
Just to meet Merle and Durrell or whatever.
Yeah.
From The Walking Dead.
So this one, and they had a lot of great guests, and I think the other part was like people were really focused on making sure they save their money. You know, MegaCon people are more like buy,
Right.
and then they run out of money the first day.
I came here with $1,000. I'm gonna leave with nothing.
Yeah. So I had a lot of, this is really cool. I'll take your card. I'll be back.
Yeah.
But I did sell quite a bit, made a good amount. Had a great time. I got to see my family. My dad, my stepmom, and one of my brothers came down from Ohio. Only a 5.5 hour drive for them. came and visit. So my dad got to experience the life of a con. He's never. My dad is not in. He likes the superhero movies, but he's never read comic books.
Right.
He's
your typical middle-aged consumer.
yeah. He's not even. He's not that old. He may take offense to that
Well,
one.
how old is he?
He's how old's my mom?
I don't know.
Mid-40s.
That's middle-aged.
I guess.
Most American men die around 80.
Hope you're listening, Dad. There you go.
Love you,
Love you,
JB Senior.
But yeah,
happy to meet you and piss you off in person someday.
You might have met. Well, no, you didn't stay at my wedding long.
No,
Yeah.
no. I was a quickie. In and out.
But anyways, so
I got the full in there, but it was just I was done so quick. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyways.
sweating, babe. I'm tired.
Anyways, so my dad and my stepmom got to experience a convention for the very first time. My brother's gone. He's really into the movies, the comics, into the anime stuff. And my dad,
as this generation do.
My dad would go and walk around for a little bit, and they'd come back a couple hours later, and he goes, "This is really interesting." And this was like Friday night where it was just the VIPs. I'm like, "You haven't seen shit." He goes, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Wait till tomorrow."
You ain't seen nothing yet.
And he was amazed. He's like, "This is awesome." They took pictures with some of different people and with some people. They got into it a little bit.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, and then I felt really bad. They went and there was some Mustang thing in Kentucky near us. And my dad just got a new Mustang.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Not a new Mustang, new to him Mustang.
Yeah.
And I'm not a car guy.
Oh, I love Mustangs.
But he's rebuilding it, reworking it and stuff.
Yeah, he is.
So Saturday morning they got up. My brother was staying with me to run the table, and him and my stepmom were gonna go to the store to pick up some things or something like that, or go check it out. They came back like 6 hours later, 4 or 5 hours later. I can't remember. I'm like, "Where have you been?" And he's like, "Oh, well, the store wasn't open." So I'm like, "So what did you do?" They went and checked out some different stuff.
Yeah, I think there was a Mustang like gathering in Kentucky last month. I think there was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just a store to go buy stuff at.
I'm not as big on like Mustang stuff as I was like 2 years ago. I'm still pretty into it, but I don't keep up with the news of like, where to meet Roush and stuff like that.
Right. We had
pretend you know what that means.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Smile and nod.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Smile and wave.
But yeah, it was. They had a great time. My brother and I were, teaming up on the selling of art, and we bullshit with each other and make fun of each other.
Tag team, bro.
I didn't want to say that. But yeah, we had a great time, and the only problem I had was where we were staying at. There was no good food. Like every place we went out and had food. You would have liked it. There was a lot of beer places where they had like 100 different beers.
I'm not into that shit, man. I'm that asshole who like goes to like those beer gardens, and I'm like, "Do you have fucking Yingling?" And then they look at me all snobby.
Well, I thought you liked the craft beer.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I fucking hate craft
that
beer.
was my brother and my dad.
No,
they drink Bud Light or whatever.
Yeah, no. See, I'm a fucking purist with everything. I drink my coffee black. I like my cigars rolled tight, and I drink my beer American.
Right. So yeah, they tried. My dad tried. What was it? I know my brother did cougar bait at one bar.
Right.
So that was just funny in itself because he just turned 21 like a few weeks before the convention, so he got to order.
See, fuckboy.
So he got to order beer in the bar. And then my dad, he was trying to find one that he would like.
Right. It's fucking impossible.
And the only one that he could find was something with wood in it.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, dude, when I order them, it's always like, I remember I ordered one, and I was like, "That sounds good." And they were like, "That one's actually really gross." I was like, "But it has the word cigar and coffee and lager in it." Yeah. I'm bound to love it.
This one was like the name of wood or something like that. And it basically sounded like somebody dipped their pecker in it to finish it off.
Oh, dude, in my head I was like cedar phallic, phallic cedar.
Yeah, pretty close. And he was trying to get my stepmom to order it for him because it was such a funny name. And he went and ordered it, laughed my ass off.
I'll have the fresh and fruity root and tooty. Fuck, that sounded really gay.
So yeah, all in all, Lexington was very cool, and I got to meet WWE legend Mick Foley.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, he was a little off.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, he's on some of the stuff, and he
Yeah.
seems like I think he was tired though. I think he just got in, and this was Friday night when I met him. I beat all the crowds
I think
and
what
everything.
they do is when he does those shows, they probably give him Quaaludes, and he's just like, then he evens out. He's like, okay, all right.
But it was very cool. It was a great honor to meet him. I got the Cactus Jack shirt signed, and
he exemplifies the idea of like what a wrestler should be. Somebody who is willing to just fucking destroy their body just to make one or two fans happy.
Oh yeah. Well, and I've always loved him because he's not the wrestler.
He looks like a fat guy rolled out of a bowling alley and just started like putting socks in people's
And
mouths.
he became one of the biggest legends of wrestling. And
he was an ex-schizophrenic bowler. Many people don't know that. He was a schizophrenic bowler.
And I was. It was very cool to meet him in person, and he's one of those guys that I look up to keep pushing and fighting for your dream, so you eventually get it. And that's what I do with the artwork and everything.
Most of those dudes in the WWE, it's like pretty inspirational because like half of them, it's just like, dude, I've been wrestling in like garages and like fucking middle school gyms for 7 years, and finally the WWE was like, hey man, you want to give it a shot, dude? Which is a great way to just bring us into...
You're so angry with it. So we teased it last week, and you got a little bit of Will's insight of WrestleMania 32.
Yeah.
Correct? So yeah, like Will explained, last week he just got back into wrestling because I told him to, because I wanted to talk wrestling here and there.
An older boy made me do it.
So I wanted to, BS about wrestling here and there. We won't kill it. We won't try to kill you guys with it. But every once in a while we're gonna bring it up, like
it's topical
this week
for us right now because we just came off of it 2 days ago.
Yeah, we recorded this 2 days after WrestleMania 32, where the day after Raw,
and it's actually a day after I saw WrestleMania 32.
Well, and we kind of got a little bit of the I was able to sit back and kind of digest it a little bit. I say to me, it was not the worst, but not the best. There's been worse.
It exemplifies every single reason why I gave up on wrestling, why I stopped watching.
See, I think they would have had... There's two things. If they would push the younger talent a little bit more, which has always bugged me,
right,
it would have been better. But the other thing, too, was they had to scramble to put a lot of these matches together because the injury list is longer than...
Well, that's because you got every fucking guy wrestling every single fucking day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. These are human beings,
Right.
You can't do WWE fucking,
every
SmackDown versus Raw with real people. They break. Like, that's what people do.
Yeah.
And I just, I didn't know who half of the people were, like, literally half of them, because I haven't watched in forever. And so, I remember, the last match was Triple H versus... I don't remember what his name was.
Roman Reigns.
And I don't know who Roman Reigns is. I've never seen him before. He looks a lot like Hercules.
Hercules.
Like a Samoan Hercules, honestly. Which, surprisingly, that they had The Rock there, too, since he played a Samoan Hercules in that Hercules movie, which was actually pretty good. It's a good, fun, dumb action movie. I loved it. But anyway, and he came out, and the second he came out, people started booing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, he must be a heel. And then I was like, but Triple H is a heel. He's the best heel that I've seen tonight, actually. And like,
you didn't see Kevin Owens enough, though.
Yeah, no, I did not.
Kevin Owens is amazing, but we'll get back to that one.
So I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, and every time Roman Reigns would do anything, people are booing him. And it occurred to me, I couldn't figure out for the first 3 minutes of the match, why do people hate this guy so goddamn much? What is the big deal with this? Hating this Roman Reigns dude, like, why do they hate him so much? And then it dawned on me, he's the fucking same thing that's wrong with Cena. He's fucking got 3 goddamn moves, and he's boring. And then on top of that, he was just boring. Like, he wouldn't sell anything.
Well, and it's not even just that. I mean, like, there's a lot of that to it. But the thing is, and this is the nice thing, the difference between you and I is I've been watching it hardcore for years now, and I have been through all the build up for this WrestleMania and this Roman Reigns crap. WWE has been shoving him down our throats. He's supposed to be the next big
Cena.
face.
He's supposed to be the next
Cena's
Cena.
replacement.
Yeah.
Because Cena's been around for 10+ years now.
More than that, yeah. It's crazy to think, yeah.
So they're trying to get that guy
Right.
into the next the next top spot, and they deemed Roman Reigns it, and they just been shoving it and shoving it and shoving it, and have put people down and out, like Daniel Bryan.
Who's this Wyatt family thing? Because they seemed fucking awesome.
Okay.
Like,
so we probably should start at the beginning of WrestleMania so we don't jump around too crazy.
They had like a 5-minute interaction, and I was like, these guys seem fucking sick.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are these guys? Holy shit, this
All
is
right,
so cool.
let's start at the. I'm guessing. Well, you probably didn't catch any of the pre-show.
Mm-mm.
The pre-show was.
I heard it was dumb.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb. They put the U.S. title match in there. Ryback versus Kalisto. Ryback's a big.
I know who Ryback
Okay.
is. Yeah.
And Kalisto's Rey Mysterio Part 2.
Oh.
But he's awesome. He's really cool. I like him
Rey
a lot.
Mysterio's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Rey Mysterio's too busy being Lucha Underground shit.
Yeah, it was a good match, but they showed how much they did not give a crap to that title. Let's just throw it. And it was the first match on the pre-show.
Wow.
The
prestige that once was.
And you even watch, like, they would show, like, you could catch a little bit of the side ring stuff.
Yeah.
Like the one where the camera sits and looking the other way,
right.
There is nobody in those seats.
Oh.
So they played to, like, a third of the audience. And then they had the Divas tag match, which was not as bad of a train wreck as I thought it would be. And well, they're now WWE superstars.
Right, I've heard they're not even calling them divas anymore.
Which is awesome.
It's great.
Good job for WWE. The match was all right, but I mean, even with the if you do a 10-man tag match with the males, it's messy. So, that's the way it was. Then you had I think the Usos versus the Dudleys, which I don't even know why it was on the card.
Yeah.
It was. The Dudleys are not being used right, and the Usos are boring in my case.
The Dudleys are like supposed to be the Hardys, but never popular. Like,
they're popular.
No, I mean like they're never supposed to win. The Dudleys are supposed to come in and just like fuck shit up, and be awesome at what they do, and like hype up the crowd, and then.
Well, now they're heel.
Right.
And which would work, but they should have gave them a tag title run.
Right.
And let them be heel and build up some of these other tag teams. But that leads into a Raw thing, which we'll get into later. So the match that kicked off WrestleMania was the ladder match. And we'll try to run through these quickly and not do a whole show about this. Yeah. But the ladder match I thought was amazing.
Who was in that?
It was for the Intercontinental title. You had Stardust, which awesome tribute to his dad.
I saw that one, yeah.
Cody Rhodes doing the Dusty Rhodes tribute. You had Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I should have wrote shit down and brought shit up. So I remembered
we don't
everything.
do that here. We don't.
No, we go by shitty memories.
No
Zack Ryder.
No fact checking. No.
The Miz.
No pre-planning. Yeah. Who I was like when I saw the Miz come out, I was like, he's still a thing.
Yeah. I feel bad for the Miz because I think he should be up higher. I've always, he's been one of the good talkers.
He's been there for fucking ever. Dude.
Yeah, but he's stuck back in mid-card again. Yeah. He had his one WWE run, and it was great, but he's never gotten back up there.
Right.
But yeah, the match was amazing. A lot of big spots.
Yeah.
A lot of good amount of oh shit, I hope he ain't dead spots.
Right.
I can't even remember who got tossed off the ladder on top of somebody else that was laying on a ladder and they broke it in half.
Yeah. They redid that ladder match with the Hardys and Edge.
Yeah. I was actually surprised at the winner of that. I mean, we all, because I was with Johnny and Deuce.
I heard
with the
everybody
Happy Hour
was surprised at that.
I mean, we all went, holy shit. One guy called it in the night. I think it was our buddy Sean.
I don't know who that dude is either, so it didn't mean anything.
Zack Ryder. You think the Miz has been there a long time and it's obscure?
I know Zack Ryder's name.
Zack Ryder's the same exact thing.
he was going by a different name, wasn't he though?
No, he's been Zack Ryder for a long time.
Oh.
He was with Edge at one point.
I remember him with Edge, yeah.
And it was there was two guys that looked just like him.
Yeah, I know who Zack Ryder is.
He was
yeah.
one of those guys, and then he became like the internet champion,
Oh.
and but now he's just been like, he's like bottom, like he'll bring out, they would bring him out to just job to somebody,
Oh.
and so yeah, that was like a big holy shit moment. So honestly, when they did that, I'm like, this night should be awesome.
Ugh.
I thought we were gonna have one hell of a pay-per-view match.
Silly bitch, being all optimistic.
So what was after the title match, the IC title?
I don't fucking know.
Well, we're probably not gonna go in order. We'll forget shit.
Fucking Bootios, man.
Oh, I love the New Day.
Fucking Elijah. What's his name? Elijah.
Or Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. Oh my god, dude. When they came out in Dragon Ball Z costumes, I started flipping my shit. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Did you read the box? Did you see the meme?
Bootios, no gluteans.
No gluteans. Yeah, and like the ingredients. Oh, that shit's hilarious. If you have not seen that meme and you're a New Day fan and a wrestling fan, find that meme or that picture of the Bootios. It's the nutritional facts.
Yeah.
Funniest shit you'll read from Mania.
And they had real Bootios in the box.
Yeah.
Too. They had Bootios.
That was a good match. You know, New Day had their fun.
Yeah, they fought the
League of Nations.
League of Nations, yeah, which was filled with a bunch of dudes. Only one I recognized.
Yeah, you had Sheamus, Rusev,
I recognized
King
Sheamus.
Barrett, and Alberto Del Rio.
Only one I recognized was Sheamus.
Yeah. You have not watched in a long time.
I have not watched in a very long time. And the only reason I know Xavier Woods is because he's like a super nerd.
Yes.
And he ends up being talked about across a bunch of different like Let's Plays I watch.
You know, I actually met Xavier Woods before he was like, even debuted in WWE.
Oh, really?
He was he may have been in NXT, and I had no idea who the fuck he was.
Oh, yeah.
I met him at Ranger Stop here in Orlando. Ranger Stop Con.
Yeah.
It was, I think, my first one I did. And he came up and he was sporting his, because he's a huge Power Ranger fan.
Yeah.
So he would wrestle and his tights would look like the bottom of the Power Rangers pants, and he'd have the Morphin belt.
Oh, that's cool.
So he dressed like that, but he had no shirt on, and he was, his beef self. And he came up and talked to me and BS with me, and he loved my artwork and everything. And then I didn't find out until like 6 months later that that's who that was. I put it together. I'm like, motherfucker.
I could have been there.
Yeah, I could have met him.
I could have been there.
Oh.
You should do a painting of the Bootios meme there.
A lot of people wanted me to try to get into painting wrestlers.
Dude, you should, yeah.
I haven't. I really like the idea. I just haven't figured out the way I want to take it.
Right.
And people are hard to paint.
No, it's true.
Superheroes, easy as hell. Most of them have masks. You can kind of do. And really, if you get it close to looking like what they look like, people won't give you shit.
Yeah.
But, doing. What?
Yeah. I see what you mean.
You're a dick.
Oh, my God.
So, well, a little behind the scenes things. Where we record the Creative Hangout is in the JB Designs Art Studio. It's my little office in my house, and I have paintings sitting everywhere. I'm getting ready for my next convention and getting ready for MegaCon down the road, and I have my Black Panther painting that's going to be part of my Civil War project. And Will's being a smartass about it. That looks good.
Civil War. Feed the rich while it buries the poor. Guns N' Roses is gonna be in fucking Orlando soon, man. That's nuts.
Yeah.
They should just stop.
But it's the original. Well, at least the original 3.
Everybody but Slash.
No, Slash is there too.
So Axel isn't?
Axel's there. You haven't heard all this?
Mm-mm.
It's Axel, Slash, and Duff McKagan.
Oh,
that's the huge deal about it. It's all of them together.
And they couldn't get what's his name? The drummer?
McKagan's the drummer.
Oh, I'm thinking of the bassist.
I don't know who the bassist is.
I forget what his name is. I used to know his name.
I don't think they have him though.
Oh, he's not dead as far as I know.
I don't even know his name. So, but yeah, that's we'll just see if they make it to here.
Yeah,
they played their first show and it seemed well. And I heard a video through the radio of Axel singing, and the radio host was like, "Oh, that sounds pretty good. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. If you say so, Chet.
I'm not paying to go see Guns N' Roses though. I'm not.
I don't.
I would pay money to see Guns N' Roses
In the 80s.
when I was young.
Right.
You know, if I could go back in time.
Right.
But I was a baby then.
I would pay to see them in the 80s, not today.
No.
No.
If we get free tickets, then I'd go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Why not? I mean,
but,
I'm not paying.
So, anyways,
I'm not feeding that machine.
going back to
I'm not going to make them
WrestleMania.
think they're still relevant.
Going back to WrestleMania, you had AJ Styles versus Y2J, Chris Jericho. That was a pretty good match.
You mean HBK versus Y2J? Yeah.
Yeah. HBK.
That motherfucker did like 4 super kicks. He looked. I was like, is this Shawn Michaels?
Y2J?
No.
Or
fucking the
AJ
other guy.
Styles?
Yeah, I was like, is this fucking Shawn Michaels version 2.0?
I didn't see that many super
He
kicks.
did like 3 super kicks in the match.
Well, everybody's doing super kicks now.
Yeah,
Sweet Chin Music is no longer like even Dolph Ziggler Dolph Ziggler was in the ladder match.
He looks a lot different now.
He freaking ramped up his leg and then did the kick.
Yeah,
I'm like, no. You know, I get doing a version of the kick, but you don't do the stomping like Sean did.
Right.
And it was like...
You can't tune up the band, bro.
No.
Only Sean can tune up the band.
But AJ versus Chris Jericho was great.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris needed the win. I didn't understand the win there.
Yeah.
Because it was AJ Styles' first match.
Everybody I thought was going to win didn't win.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm like, okay, I could kind of call this. Because I
Right.
always try, you know. As
Everybody tries.
Yeah, you know, I do it more of, and I think a lot of people do, is like, if you were actually booking it and for the future stuff.
Right.
I always try to, you know, think of the wins like that. And I did not understand why Chris Jericho had to win, unless they really want to take all that over to the next pay-per-view Payback. But it's like, AJ could have used the WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was his first. So why would you not have that with him? So yeah, Chris Jericho won that one.
Brock Lesnar was there somewhere, right?
Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose, which was a match, but it was a disappointment.
It was like no holds barred.
It was no DQ.
Oh, okay.
So they were, you know, they brought out some weapons, but
Yeah.
it was kind of a bummer.
I don't know who Dean Ambrose is, and I know I don't like, what's his name, Lesnar?
Dean Ambrose is the one that everybody wants
Right.
to be WWE champion.
Oh, okay.
Him, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, who is injured, were a group called The Shield.
They were in a stable,
Yeah.
I remember that.
They all became huge. Then they split off. Seth went bad. Seth was like WWE champion for a good while. He's like the golden child right now. Everybody loves him. Really great heel. But he's one of the injuries that messed up WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
And then Dean Ambrose is the other fan favorite. He stayed a good guy. And then there's Roman.
With like no personality.
Now, the Divas match for the women's title was amazing.
Yeah.
That was nicely done. I was a little bummed that Charlotte won.
I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good for, you know, like, if more women's matches are like this, I can finally get into women's.
They've been picking up.
Because like, I just watched WrestleMania 21, and they had like a cat fight in like a bed, and I was like, see, this is why this is stupid.
See, this is they're really, the Divas Revolution has been going on for a good year or so.
Right.
You know what NXT is, right?
Yeah.
For those that do not know what NXT is, it is the training development spot for up and coming WWE superstars.
Right.
You can find them on the WWE Network. They have their own show, and that's where the Divas Revolution started.
Yeah.
They have the 4 horsewomen.
Women that actually wrestle.
You have Charlotte, who is Ric Flair's daughter. You have Becky Lynch, who was the Irish last kicker.
She does just as much coke as Rick did.
You also have all the girls are my favorite, but you had Sasha Banks.
Okay.
She's like the big favorite.
Okay.
She's amazing. And then you have Bayley. Bayley's still in NXT. She just lost her women's title in NXT.
Okay.
But she was like the main woman in NXT right now, while the other 3 went to the main roster.
Okay.
So you had the women's title match with the first 3 that I named off.
Mm-hmm.
And but they have been building this revolution, and you know, they build it up in NXT, did some amazing matches. Bayley and Sasha did a 60-minute Iron Man match in Brooklyn.
Wow.
If you want to see a women's match and see some badass wrestling that
Yeah.
even goes better than some of the men's wrestling that you've seen on Raw and SmackDown, you watch Bailey versus Sasha, the 60-minute Iron Man. You will not get bored.
I guess I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out, and we'll have to talk about that one.
Yeah.
It's an older one, but I think it would be cool to chat about, especially with a person that has not watched it for a while and a person that's been in it for a while. But yeah, the three girls debuted last year, I believe. Maybe I don't think it was after WrestleMania. It was a little bit after WrestleMania. But they've been tearing it up and bringing it in, bringing in good matches, and this was their moment to shine. And WWE gave them a ton of time, which was nice. They got to tell the right story in the ring. The only complaint I have, and I hope they fix it soon, is I think Ric Flair, and I was talking to Johnny with this at the party Sunday, I'm hoping they get Ric Flair away from Charlotte in the near future. I think he's taking away from Charlotte. And Charlotte can't.
Maybe a good Jewish aunt.
I think Charlotte, she already paved her way by herself.
Right.
And then you bring Rick in.
Dude,
I think he served his purpose.
Now, I stopped watching wrestling right around when Ric Flair had the retirement match. That I think what was that 23 or 25 or something? 27.
It was in Orlando.
Right. It was the last time they were in Orlando.
26.
And I stopped watching right around there.
27 maybe.
And I was like, this is a beautiful goodbye. This is a perfect goodbye to a really good, a good guy who was a good,
right.
Not a good guy, but a good wrestler. And then I come to find out he's over fucking wrestling on what was he wrestling on? TNA, which is apparently where old wrestlers go to try to be relevant again. And I was just like, well, what the fuck? Why are you back, dude? I thought you retired, And I think he's just trying to do anything he can to stay, like, I don't want to say relevant, but to, like, stay in the mix of things, because really he can't wrestle anymore. He's too fucking old for it.
Yeah.
I mean, The Undertaker can barely fucking do anything anymore.
Well, and WWE, I think, I don't know if they forced it, but I think they...
You really think? Well, I know him and H are, really close.
I think they were like, I think he was getting to that point where they didn't want to take responsibility for him anymore if he got hurt or something. So it's like, you got to go out. And they gave him the right outing. Cool fun fact, if you didn't know, Charlotte's robe was made from Nate's robe from his last match.
Oh, that's wow.
Yeah. And they did it really nice, too. They made it look like a robe for a girl, but it still looked like Flair's. It was very nice. So that was a nice little thing. But yeah, we had the Hell in the Cell match.
Yeah.
It was great.
Shane jumped off some shit.
Yeah, but Shane lost. Didn't get the point of that.
I
mean, you didn't want Taker to retire, so I get that. But, I think Shane should have won it.
When
unless they want to drag that story out forever,
when
too.
Taker, the dude who plays The Undertaker is fucking old.
Mm-hmm.
He can't do shit anymore. His body is too beaten up from wrestling and whatever the fuck else he's done in his life.
Right.
And I think, I know there's a bunch of people out there that are way too hardcore with Taker, and they don't want to hear it or don't want to accept it that he can't anymore. But I think that match showed he really can't anymore.
He's been looking better, but he's still... I think it's time to...
That was the worst I've ever seen him. And, when the announcer was like, he looks great tonight, I was like, are you fucking looking at the same guy?
You haven't seen him when he went against Lesnar.
True.
When he got a concussion right at the beginning of the match.
Oh, you mean when he lost the first time? No, I saw that match.
Yeah.
And he looked bad.
Yeah.
He looked really bad.
Oh, and even, there was the one before that and the one after that, he still wasn't looking great.
He didn't look great this time either. And I'm like, it is just, he can't do it anymore. Just put him out, let him retire on a high note with the respect he deserves as a really good wrestler, which he is. He's a really great wrestler. He's a great, whatever. But, it's better to burn out than to fade away. And if they just keep pushing him out there once a year to do a match that he doesn't fucking lose, I mean, they can't. What are they going to do? Make the streak go another fucking 20 years now? He's going to be fucking 46-1. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He can't do it anymore. He just can't.
But yeah, so...
He's human.
There was that match, and then we talked about the main event a little bit. Raw was all right afterwards.
I heard that, yeah.
Not as amazing. I will agree with some people. The fans were annoying. they were not fun. They didn't add to it. They took away from the match because always, the Raw after WrestleMania, the
Right.
fans are like hardcore and stuff, and they usually add to stuff. But this time, I think they took away a lot. You got to see some cool debuts of people from some of the NXT guys. You got to see Enzo and Kaz, which is probably a tag team you would really like. Very mouthy and brass.
Like Kaz? Like,
No. It's a
Oh.
different guy.
Oh.
Yeah. You wouldn't know him.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, they put like at the beginning of the show they put Shane McMahon in charge, and then he like was barely around for it,
Yeah.
but he got all the credit. It was just weird.
That sounds accurate. No. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's enough wrestling talk for now.
Yeah, it's been a good 40 minutes.
That was longer than we wanted to go.
Whoop.
Whoops.
Whoop.
Sorry.
Whoop. We
um,
fucked up. We fucked up.
Still need that soundboard.
Yeah, but WWE sound clips. By God. I'll just be the soundboard.
That was
Just
a horrible JR.
poke my nipple. I had a stroke 6 years ago. What do you want from me? Boomer Sooner and slobber knocker.
So what were we looking on time?
We're at 51 minutes right now.
So I guess we could plug some things that are coming. Plug up.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Bend over.
ooh, ooh. My name's Ben. Last name Dover.
Yeah. So you want to plug your stuff first?
Yeah. If you want to actually hear me talk, you should check out last week's podcast.
Oh, we're gonna pull that shit every week.
Cause fuck yeah, I am. Cause I
Watch some damn wrestling.
I don't
dude.
have. I'm trying. Damn it! I had to watch something to cleanse the palate of the 32nd annual piece of shit. I'm sorry. I was disappointed. As like a fucking old wrestling fan, like I was like, this is. It's like they're not even trying. It's felt like that.
Supposed to be plugging your stuff.
And yeah, no, because I didn't get the chance to gripe enough. So
Oh well, you were
give me
giving
a-
me the go.
give me a fuck.
forward.
Well, yeah, because I was like, we can't fucking do this forever, bro.
What do you want from
We
me?
need at least
You want to
5
talk or you want to go?
We need 5 minutes. Well, no, we need to go so I can talk. So anyway, you can find all my stuff at Will Development. YouTube is my biggest outlet. Facebook.com/Will Development. Instagram Will Development. Twitter Will Develop MNT. All that good stuff. You can find Josh everywhere.
Everywhere. I am everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm Batman.
I've seen other worlds.
The easiest way to find everything that I am going on and into is joshbauerartist.com, and Bauer is Bauer. You can find my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube on there. You can find upcoming events. I will be at Space Coast Nerd Fest this weekend, actually. Yeah, this will be coming out the Friday before. I'm probably...
Yes.
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 I am actually a guest artist at this event.
You think you got a big dick and shit?
And they gave me plenty of room to play with. So hopefully will be coming out to hang out.
Play with that tiny, tiny pixel-sized penis. That's he needs all that room for. Pixel.
So yeah, that'll be in Melbourne, Florida. Then May 7th is Free Comic Book Day. I am a featured artist, guest artist at Smash Comics and Games, or Games and Comics in Sanford, Florida. And then we are both gearing up for MegaCon
Fuck yeah, we are.
2016 in
Fuck yeah, we
Orlando.
are.
I will be in the vendors area. Come say hi.
I'll probably be hanging out with him for a while. I'll be that asshole dressed up as Riddick.
Yeah, well, he'll be cosplaying, and then my brother will be in town.
Yeah.
If you are an artist, vendor, cosplayer, or anything in between, listening to this right now and are going to be at MegaCon and are staying in the area and want to, come and do a roundtable type discussion with us during MegaCon, we're going to do a Friday night one and a Saturday night one. Hopefully record 2 episodes each night.
Yes.
So that's going on. Just message me personally and we'll chat. You guys know how to get a hold of me. If you want to keep up with everything The Creative Hangout podcast show, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Creative Hangout. You can find us on Twitter at TCH Podcast Show. You can find us on Instagram. I actually fixed it, so it's spelled correctly now. That one is The Creative Hangout Podcast.
Cast.
We are hoping to have a website up in the near future. That is in the works.
Yes.
To make it easier for us to plug and to find everything. Please subscribe to us on SoundCloud.
We have a kick-ass intro finally too, courtesy
Yes.
of.
Courtesy of my friend Bethany of Outhouse Games. If you are not familiar with Outhouse, they are a great group. I don't know all the details about them, but they make the main thing I know they do is they make app video games for your phone.
Oh, okay.
So you can play Stacker. They just came out with a newer one. Was something of a pirate. I know they're messing around with something, I think, to be involved with the candidates, joking on them and playing around with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bethany has, if you've watched any of the JB Designs YouTube videos, I've gotten all my music from her. She created the Irish one for me. She has created our theme song. How is that racist? You just like commenting shit while I'm trying to play.
I watch a lot of CinemaSins.
But yeah, the theme song is from her. We appreciate all her help with that. Thank you very much, and we hope to have them up on a future show once we start having guests. And yeah, I think that's everything.
That's everything, I think.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, please share, like, hashtag,
all that good shit.
All that crap. And we'll catch you next week.
Yeah. Howdy.